Maybe it was never about the work itself. Maybe it has always been about my perception of the work. If Marx argued that human beings are naturally productive, sociable beings who are able to find fulfillment and meaning in their lives through the free exercise of their natural powers, maybe I have already achieved the dream. I work in a tiny little cafe from which the wages I earn cover the costs of my basic necessities. The small size of the cafe means that there are a lot of quiet, still windows of time throughout my shifts where it feels like my time belongs to me again. Between cappuccinos and flat whites, I journal, I read, I make little YouTube videos, I create, and I express. Hasn't that always been the dream? To get paid whilst I create. Funny, isn't it? To have been living the dream all this time, but only now to be looking up to realize it. How good is life? How good is God? Yeah, that was it. Bye. I don't know if I'm just choosing to make this a thing now that I'm going to sit up here, but I thought I would start off my video for this week. I'm about to have my first poetry performance of the year. Luckily, it's a performance that's on Zoom, so I feel like that's a nice way to kind of ease back into performing for 2024. But I'm really, really excited. I still haven't selected exactly which poems I'm going to perform, but I think it's going to be really chill. It's going to be sort of an intimate group of people, so I might just wing it. And yeah, I feel like usually when I do sets, that's one thing I want to work on this year. I'm never like super prepared, and my sets aren't really long. Like usually they're like 30 minutes max, and that's not even filled with a lot of poetry. It's mainly just me telling stories in between and kind of like just killing time, cracking jokes as I do in between. So this year I really want to become more disciplined in that regard, and just like if I get offered a feature that is even 5 minutes, just to make the absolute most of it. Like what a gift it is to be able to have the attention of a group of people, and I have the ability to say anything to them. Like words can transform lives in so many ways. So I really want to start like taking that responsibility really seriously, and I think I'm feeling good about it, even though I'm not really super prepared. But I'm excited, and just like I feel like this is gonna give me a like we're really going after the thing. So if a body is always to arrive before the voice it belongs to, what is it? You already know what time it is. I love my customers at work, but sometimes a girl needs some respite. Okay, sometimes just come downstairs to the storage room and, catch my breath a little, sip on my tea a little. Let's chat. So yesterday I had my first poetry performance of the year, which was really, really nice, and felt good to kind of just like start, getting the ball rolling in terms of my creative work for this year, which is really exciting. And today I've just been thinking, whilst I love my customers, sometimes they do test my patience and they do irritate me just a little, just a tiny bit. Most of the time, I love you guys. Mwah, what an honor it is to serve you. But I've been thinking about sometimes when I get irritable at certain customers, maybe they're a little rude, maybe they need to watch their tone a little bit with me. How does that relate or assist and teach me stuff about the end goal, which is being an actor? Well, I've been thinking about just like emotional resilience, how I engage with people who are sometimes a little difficult, if you will. Thinking about how you hear so many stories of actors talking about how, I don't know, different crew people that they've worked with on set were like rude or like did something to upset them. And I'm really like not a confrontational person, and I'm really trying to learn to like set up boundaries for myself and also be the kind of person who can stand up for myself. I feel like working at this cafe, I've developed thick skin. Guys, if you follow me on TikTok, you know about my manager at this cafe, Francesco. Love him, but at the beginning when I started working here, our relationship was a little, you know what I mean?
Hello? Where are you? I'm gonna get revenge on this, eh? Move your ass, Ticke. Ciao.
He's a very like bold, loud Italian man. Frankie, I love you, but sometimes, girl, he was driving me crazy. And this is something I would say to his face, so it's fine for me to say it online. I feel like he's taught me how to almost like fight back, because that's almost how he shows love. And yes, that's something to be discussed at a later date with him, why he only knows how to express his love and passion in this like emotionally volatile way to like want to joust with you. But that's neither here nor there, nor my business for today. If I'm ever to be working on a set or in a cast of people who I butt heads with, or if I really want to stand behind an idea for maybe an offer that I'm making when I'm acting, being able to vocalize and articulate why it's necessary or why this boundary is important for me. That's something that I'm learning, and I'm really grateful that I've been developing that, because I feel like I could wallow and feel sorry for myself that I'm like still working hospo when I'm turning 23 this year. But I think if I can look for opportunity to be like, hey, this is actually aiding my learning and my growth as an actor, I think that's a really beautiful thing. So I'm trying to look for that and find the lessons in all the tiniest of things. Yeah, I think I just heard a customer come upstairs, so I better go serve them. Cheers. Okay, I'm leaving the house, and I'm currently wearing the least amount of layers I've worn all winter, so this could potentially be the worst decision I've made in my entire life. Let's see. Oh, Lord Jesus, have mercy. I'm currently walking to a friend's birthday party, this girl who I met through poetry. I really had to like psych myself up, like hype myself up to go to this party, because I have only hung out with her like a couple of times. I'm going by myself obviously to this party, so I don't know anyone who's attending. I'm very socially awkward. Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just feeling very nervous, but I've forced myself out of the house. I don't know, hopefully I'll make new friends and make some cute memories, but I don't know why I've never been this like nervous for a social event. Am I okay? What's going on?
The next station is Bond Street. Doors will open on the right-hand side. Change for the Central Line. This station is Bond Street.
Birthday girl, do what you like, just a birthday girl. The girls watch face, but yeah, it's all big, and the chicks all hate on the birthday girl. You're the birthday girl, you're the birthday girl, you're the birthday girl.
I'm going home now. I'm really, really glad I came. That was really fun, and I had some really great conversations with some really amazing people, and yes, thank you. I am on the tube now, on my way home from the party, and I'm just like so glad I went. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I have work tomorrow morning, so I'm being responsible and being a good adult. Okay.
Join the adjacent platform. Train is at the minute.
They're safe. I pray that everyone at the party gets home safe. I pray that I get home safe. Lord, I thank you for the gift of art and its ability to bring people together and make us all unite as ligaments of the body of Christ. I thank you for the overwhelming amount of favor and blessing you continue to pour into my life. I love you so much. In God's mighty name I pray. Amen. That's how my evening went. I'm going to go home, go to bed, and have some very sweet dreams, because it's a very sweet life. Yeah, good night. I am currently walking to work. Before I left the house, I had to quickly film a self-tape, put together a really professional, nicely worded email and send it through to an agency that has sent out like an open call for auditions at the moment. And I think if they like this online self-tape, they then call you in for an in-person audition. So I'm just praying with all my might that this one lands and it's successful, and that they choose me or call me in for an in-person audition. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers, guys, please. Hi, Frankie. Here's something I'm also thinking about, right? So I know I was just complaining about my customers, like in a clip before this, but I promise most of the time I love them. Actually, all the time I love them. But there was a customer, she comes in regularly. She's from Denmark, and today we were talking about the weather and just talking about how British people often get super like gloomy and all they do is complain about the weather. And she was like, in Denmark, they have a saying where they're like, it's not too cold, it's not horrible weather, you're just poorly dressed. I feel like that can apply to a lot of circumstances in life. I was thinking about my poetry being like, sometimes I can get down on myself, or like get like, sometimes I can start to have like a consuming little pity party, and I'm like,
opportunities to perform aren't coming up, like, oh, the poetry scene is so small.
I use that as an excuse. It's like, opportunities not there, or is it my poor preparation and failure to go seek out those opportunities just because it's cold outside and I don't want to hop on the tube and walk to an open mic? That is my own doing, so I can't complain. But it also makes me think about like what Marx says about humans being creators, right? We're all creative people and we like to produce and create things. About how essentially I've created this goal for myself, being like, one day I want to be a full-time actress, a full-time creative. What that means for that to be my essence, I'm creating this art form, whether it be a work of theatre, a body of film, a body of spoken word, or like a book. And then I want it to sell so then I can live off it. I think he calls that like the separation from our species being, right? So I'm thinking about how I will remain grounded, and almost I want to maintain the sense of like joy around my creative production and the things that I produce creatively. I don't want them to then become work. But then I guess that is what my goal is. If I'm saying I want to be a full-time actress, I'm wanting to make my passion work, which is a little bit scary to think about. And yeah, that is really scary. Oh, girl, am I going into an existential crisis? What would Marx do? Please sound off in the comments. I want to read you something that I wrote in my journal entry today whilst I was at work, and I thought it was interesting and just like a cute little revelation that I had today. Maybe it was never about the work itself. Maybe it has always been about my perception of the work. Marx argued that human beings are naturally productive, sociable beings who are able to find fulfillment and meaning in their lives through the free exercise of their natural powers. Maybe I have already achieved the dream. I work in a tiny little cafe from which the wages I earn cover the costs of my basic necessities. The small size of the cafe means that there are a lot of quiet, still windows of time throughout my shifts where it feels like my time belongs to me again. Between cappuccinos and flat whites, I journal, I read, I make little YouTube videos, I create, and I express. Hasn't that always been the dream? To get paid whilst I create. Funny, isn't it? To have been living the dream all this time, but only now to be looking up to realize it. How good is life? How good is God? What is up? It is TKM. I just finished work at the cafe not too long ago, and now I'm currently walking to the tube because last night I got an email from my acting agency in New Zealand that a company that I often do voiceovers for would like me to come in tonight and record another advertising campaign for them. So yeah, I'm really excited and looking forward to that. It's a bit more chill because obviously since this is a New Zealand company, I won't really have to like do any accent work or like rehearse the scripts or anything. I kind of just show up, go in the booth, and I'm good to go. So I'm looking forward to it. When the internet says stop buying coffee, start talking to the experts. Their dedicated business partner is there when you need them. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having a good week. I'm just going to talk to you about my week. I hope that you're well in mind, body, and spirit. I thought I'd just chat to you whilst I do my laundry because why not kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, this week has been a good week. Today has been a good day. I've been feeling really good, in a good mood, just excited to be alive and living life. This week, or was it last week, my flatmate came back from New Zealand, and it's been really nice to have him back. And he's been coming into the cafe just to hang out and chill, and we talk and stuff. And one really impactful thing that we've been talking about this week is this idea of like, how do we make sure that we are retaining information as we read and study and acquire new knowledge. And he's trying to do this new thing where, say he reads like a section of a book or like a chapter of a book, he finishes that and then thinks, okay, what's one thing that I can do today to action this new knowledge that I've acquired? And I just thought that that was so cool, and has had me thinking about, I'm still currently studying on Palestine, and there's something in here that I think has the wheels turning in my brain about how we as young people can be better at boycotting, be better at sticking it to the man, essentially, and making it known to these corporations and institutions what we won't stand for and tolerate, and that we are not going to be supporters of genocide. Particularly this entry in the book, which is talking about the BDS movement, the boycott, divestment, sanctions, and the role that the US and Great Britain had to play in the apartheid regime in South Africa, and its relationship to what we're witnessing right now. It says, but there was another aspect of the South African solidarity movement which is very critical. By the 1990s, the apartheid regime had virtually no international support, only two countries, the USA and Great Britain. They supported apartheid strongly right to the end, particularly Reagan. That was sufficient for the regime. As long as they had the US support, they did not care, like Israel right now. That meant that a crucial part of activism had to be directed directly against the US and, secondly, Great Britain. That's very critical. It's critical now too. Part of the intellectual weakness of the BDS movement is that it is directed against Israel, but not against the USA. That was huge to me. That the same reason that Israel exists today is the same reason that apartheid in South Africa was able to exist for as long as it did, because of its support from the US and, secondly, Great Britain. It has me thinking about, how do I make sure that I am not only boycotting institutions that support and exist in Israel, how am I making sure that at this point we've got to boycott the US and Great Britain? Girls, let's organize, let's get together, let's think, how are we making sure that we're boycotting the US? The US, she's done, she's over. A nation literally built off the backs and mass genocide of Native American people, and then built off slavery and the oppression and exploitation of Black people. Literally wild. Huge learning for me this week. Today, whilst I'm in a good mood today, I did start my day off with I don't know, a small heartbreak, a little ouch in my feelings. I got a message from my agency, my voice agency today, that this company I had been going in to do like test voiceover recordings for, they've been bringing me back to re-record as they changed the script and sort of like, so I came in maybe like 9 times and recorded differently for them. It was really exciting and sort of like a challenging job for me, because there was a lot of accent work involved in this job, and that's something I haven't really done before when it comes to voice work. And yeah, so my agency messaged me today telling me that the client has decided to go with a different voice. Not that I'm particularly passionate about this company or anything, but it did just like, it hurt me a little bit. And I know that as actors, we are literally in the business of rejection. So I've gotten rejections multiple times for like self-tapes and stuff. That's just how the days go. But I realized that this is the first time that has happened to me, that I've gotten a rejection when it comes to a voiceover job. My agency in the email was so kind and like lovely, and assuring me that the voice agency for the client were really advocating for me and really thought that I was the perfect fit for the job, etc., which is really kind of them. But I think one thing that I've realized is that as an actor, I know that I'm really skilled, or I'm one of the actors who, like, the power of my performance comes from my spirit. I'm not necessarily a technically skilled actor, if that makes sense. I think I've said, like, in these videos a lot of the time, that I know that my desire to act and be an actress and be a poet is a God ordained thing. And I think that can be witnessed in a lot of my performances, that there's something spiritually taking place because God has ordered it to be so. But when it comes to my technicality, whether that be in my accent work or my knowledge of stagecraft or engaging with the camera, etc., that's not as high, or I know that that's not something that I'm super, super good at when it comes to acting. So to have this job, which was my first voiceover job where I was doing a lot of accent work, fall through, it kind of hurt that little insecurity that I have about my acting, that I'm not necessarily the most technically skilled actor. I am feeling a bit sad about that, but I also have to take into consideration that this is the first rejection I've gotten from a voiceover job, and I've been working as a voiceover artist for, like, what, 5 years now. So for this to be like the first time that I'm getting a rejection, girl, I should be celebrating how great that I've been able to do work for so long and just, like, keep getting jobs in voice. So I should be very grateful for that. And I do think that I have to thank God that I'm experiencing this rejection, because I do think that it's going to propel me to, like, okay, how am I going to make sure that I'm leveling up and upskilling when it comes to my accent work? After I make this video, I'm going to send an email to my voice agent and ask them if maybe they could contact the client and ask if they have any feedback or notes for why it didn't work. Yeah, so I'm thankful for this opportunity to learn, and I just got to keep it pushing and know that it's only working to enrich my character and make me a better performer. So yeah, everything is only working for my greater good. Yesterday, actually, my acting agency in New Zealand contacted me to let me know that a company that I've done multiple jobs for whilst I was living in New Zealand wanted me to come in and remotely record a voiceover for them. So I went and did that. It was really fun, and I really enjoy doing that because I love this company and I've done so many jobs for them. It's so chill, and I just think there's a nice, like, synchronicity between the two of us. I'm so grateful to be living the life that I am. Yeah, that I can, like, make these videos. I can go to voiceover jobs and be challenged to do accent work, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to just try. Like, right now I'm trying to activate and action my creative expression by making these videos. I tried by trying to do the accent for that past voiceover job that didn't go through, and it was like one thing that kept circulating in my brain last year. It kind of sort of became my motto, was that I'm not afraid to be seen trying, and I'm just so grateful every day for the opportunity to try. Like, what a beautiful thing. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but it's just something that I've been ruminating on this week. See ya. Bye. Mwah.